the non-belief is incoherent omnibus. Number 18. The argument from non sequitur. Premise 1. Belief should be proportioned to the evidence. Premise 2. There is insufficient evidence for either belief in P or not P. Conclusion. Neither belief in P nor belief in not P is justified. Conclusion 2. Therefore, the subject believes neither P nor not P. Premise 3. Belief is not an act of will. Conclusion 3. Therefore, the subject believing neither P nor not P is non sequitur.
Let's start with the first premise. Belief should be proportioned to the evidence. At first glance, this might seem like a call to withhold belief entirely until sufficient evidence is available. However, that's not what Hume meant. Hume wrote, "In our reasonings concerning matter of fact, there are all imaginable degrees of assurance, from the highest certainty to the lowest species of moral evidence. A wise man, therefore, proportions his belief to the evidence." Hume's point is clear: belief is not binary. There are various degrees of confidence one can have in a belief. A truly wise person carefully determines which degree of belief the evidence supports and adjusts accordingly. This contrasts sharply with the argument presented, which suggests belief must be an all-or-nothing decision, ignoring the possibility of holding tentative or probabilistic beliefs. Full belief: I'm certain P is true. Full disbelief: I'm certain P is false. Suspended judgment: I'm unsure, so I withhold belief. Probabilistic belief: P seems likely true, but I'm not fully convinced. Premise 2 states, there is insufficient evidence for either belief in P or belief in not P. But P is left completely undefined, creating a problematic vagueness that undermines the argument's universality. Without specifying P, the premise could apply to almost any type of claim. Trivial claims: unicorns exist. Lack of evidence for unicorns is strong evidence that they likely don't exist. It's reasonable to believe they don't exist until proven otherwise. Necessary truths: 2 + 2 = 4. Analytic truths like this are self-evident and require no external evidence. Contingent claims: a deity exists. This is an empirical claim for which evidence could, in principle, be presented. This ambiguity makes the argument seem more robust than it actually is. The first two conclusions are non sequiturs because they don't logically follow from the premises. Belief in P or not P could be justified depending on the nature of the truth claim and the evidence available. Furthermore, as written, the subject introduced in conclusion 2 is not bound by the normative standard of premise 1. The subject may hold any degree of confidence about P or not P, ranging from tentative belief to full suspension of judgment, without contradicting rational norms. To be more charitable, we could rewrite the argument for clarity and to better reflect Hume's position. Revised premise 1: a wise man proportions his belief to the evidence. Revised conclusion 2: therefore, the wise man withholds full belief in P or not P when there is insufficient certainty to adopt either position. This more reasonable form retains the many degrees of belief available to the wise man, such as suspension of judgment. Premise 3 seems reasonable. However, it undermines the normative force of premise 1. If belief is involuntary, then what people ought to believe is irrelevant, they simply cannot choose to comply. It also does not rule out suspension of judgment as a valid state of belief. Even if belief is involuntary, a person could be naturally not committed to a proposition in its negative or positive. Such as when presented with inconclusive evidence about an unfamiliar scientific hypothesis, it's natural and rational to neither believe nor disbelieve until more information is available. Conclusion 3 can be discarded as a category error. The suspension of judgment is not a conclusion that follows from premises. Nor is it incoherent. It is a valid state of belief.